A young man returns home and discovers on the carpet in the living room his own body. Next to it lies an envelope with the inscription, "Look at me." The initial shock is replaced by curiosity as Alex finds a flash drive in the envelope, which he immediately plugs into his computer, and on the screen sees just himself. The second Alex reassures himself he is not high and has not gone insane, and advises to listen carefully. Thus, it all started with men in black coming to his house. Rebecca, an employee of a private scientific research institute of advanced technologies which cooperates with the National Security Agency of the USA, has a very tempting offer for Alex. But first, Alex must sign a non-disclosure agreement for which Rebecca offers a check for a substantial amount. Having signed the papers, Alex learns the story of an American unregistered satellite which the USA did not launch. 5 weeks pass, but there are no results yet. Rebecca suggests Alex take a day off, but the guy does not need it. One day he is visited by a vision in which a young woman decodes the same task. After that, Alex bleeds from his nose. Later he finds the name of this woman written on the frame of the bed. Soon Alex manages to decrypt part of the code which contains drawings of an unknown device. Rebecca announces the end of his work and informs him that he will be taken home. And one day, two strange-looking men appear on the threshold of his house, wanting to know why he agreed to decrypt the code. Alex does not understand because decryption is just his job, which pays well. The men continue to press Alex with questions about morality. Don't the consequences of his work bother him, since the device to be created from the decrypted drawings will be the most powerful weapon in the world? Alex's head starts to hurt and he asks the men to leave. They thank him for the answers and leave. Alex immediately feels better and sits down at the computer. But at that moment, a call comes from Rebecca, reminding him of the signed non-disclosure agreements. An indignant Alex realizes that the Institute is watching him, and when he again sits down at the computer in his house, the lights go out. Alex goes outside and suddenly sees one of the two men who came to him with questions on the opposite side of the street, but the man's body starts growing before his eyes. Frightened, Alex runs home and looks out the window to see the giant's hand reaching for his window. Alex extends his hand to meet it, and morning comes. Rebecca, who has arrived, finds Alex at work. He tries to explain that humanity lives in two-dimensional space, and his recent guests are a highly developed civilization that exists not only in space, but also in time. They can be in this room but earlier or later, and they can watch what is happening through some kind of window in time. Alex tries to convey to Rebecca the danger of the device they are building, which can start World War III. Then the woman informs him that she knows about his illness, a brain tumor. The guy blames the Institute, which placed him in a room with a radioactive satellite causing a tumor to develop in his brain, and insists on stopping the construction of the device. Alex, in the present, pulls his dead body out of the house and buries it in the forest. Then returns to the computer and continues to listen to the story from his future self. Alex in the future regrets that they did not want to listen to him because he understood that something ominous was coming. Then he remembers the woman. She is a cryptographer. Alex finds her address, but Beth refuses to talk to him. Alex shouts that he is dying. He has 6 months left. After that, Beth opens the doors and informs that she has 2 years left. She also realized that it was a weapon, and the drawing supposedly came from the future. There is another person, Shearman, who communicates with her through the computer and sends her tasks which she solves when she feels normal. Beth starts feeling unwell, so a man takes her to the bedroom while he goes downstairs, where it seems like he sees the girl's life in the mirrors. There she is saying goodbye to her beloved in military uniform. There his comrades inform her of terrible news, and there she is with a handful of pills in her hand trying to leave this life. But then his attention is captured by a message from Shearman appearing on the computer monitor. Alex responds, but Shefferman quickly realizes that it's not Beth and disconnects. The man then grabs a pack of printed papers with tasks previously given by Shearman. In the morning, Beth finds him on her sofa with the papers glued together. The guy points out to her that all this are pieces of a puzzle which when assembled can give an answer. Shearman clearly doesn't work at the Institute. Alex asks Beth to help stop the creation of a death machine. The girl reports that she fell ill specifically after working with the satellite. She started having hallucinations and began thinking about a message from the future. What if it's possible to contact the sender? She began to hear the voices of the dead, and one day, heard her own voice. She also saw aliens, though she doesn't believe in them, and asks Alex to leave. Alex goes home where people in black are waiting for him. Rebecca orders him not to meet with Beth anymore and urges him to use the remaining time wisely. Inured, the guy sends the guests to hell and upon entering the house discovers that all his papers with conclusions have disappeared. Meanwhile, Beth sees a bright light at her house which makes her feel sick. The woman screams in fear and tries to hide. So, Alex tries to drown his thoughts in alcohol, when suddenly a message pops up on his computer from someone named Shefferman. He's absolutely convinced that Rebecca is hiding behind this nickname, but the person on the other end just flat out denies it. At that exact moment, the doorbell rings. Beth is standing there on the threshold. Turns out, Siobhan sent her over and, well, he also sent her the blueprints for some device that could actually destroy technology from the future. The two of them get right to work, starting to develop a virus that could take down the machine. Using the blueprints they've managed to decrypt through Alex's computer. But the next morning, Rebecca bursts into Alex's house in a panic. She says that representatives from the Institute already know about what they're doing, and they're on their way right now. She gives Alex the name of the Institute's founder and orders them to go to him as soon as possible. She reveals that she is Shefferman, and honestly she was hoping to destroy the device with their help. Then, cars start pulling up outside Alex's house. The couple doesn't waste a second, they escape through the back exit. Rebecca, though, isn't so lucky. She gets caught, injected with something, and is thrown into a car. Meanwhile, all the gas burners in the kitchen are turned on, like all at once. Later that evening, Alex and Beth finally arrive at scientist Miles's place. Miles recognizes both of them right away, saying he's always followed their work. He explains that actually the satellite they're worried about wasn't the only one. There was another that orbited Earth for about 400 years. Apparently some unknown beings from the future were just waiting for Earthlings to grow up, travel into space, and be able to decrypt their message. Miles goes on to say that the ancient satellite also contained blueprints for a machine, one designed to limit the evolution of humanity within the third dimension. So, when Miles announced his discovery, he was, laughed at. He also developed a tumor, but thankfully it wasn't fatal. He's convinced that aliens are capable of existing in several dimensions. They don't perceive time in a linear way like humans do, and the second device being built at the Institute will probably give them access to the human dimension. Up until now, it's like they're just watching a videotape, humans or movie characters. With the help of the first device, they can watch this movie but they can't change what's happening. But the second device, well, that'll allow changing the existing reality. Miles is only just starting to grasp the essence of this process, but, he can't explain everything completely. After all, even the appearance of the aliens is shaped by the human brain itself. And by the way, he's been in contact with a huge alien, visible only to him, living in his garden for more than 30 years. Miles keeps looking at it and his brain starts to adapt, letting him see the true appearance of the humanoid. But his guests, they don't see anyone at all. Miles is sure that the tumor in their heads is actually the aliens' way of helping, so that people could perceive their reality. Alex suggests, just smashing the device with a hammer. But then he wonders, what's the guarantee they won't just restore it at the Institute? So, all the data on the server needs to be erased too. Although nobody even knows where the Institute is, Miles reminds everyone that he's one of its founders, and he pulls out a map with a detailed plan of the Institute. At that moment, a loud bang is heard at the door. The couple takes off running while Miles tries to calm down the raging alien. Alex and Beth hit the road and soon find the Institute's building, where they open a hatch and sneak inside. Once they're in, they split up to increase the chances of finding the laboratory. Alex witnesses this really strange behavior from a guard who keeps returning backward, and he realizes that time inside the Institute is looped. Beth also falls into this loop, and realizing the futility of her attempts to go any further, she activates the bomb. But, because of the time loop, She's unable to leave the dangerous place. Alex heads into a dark room and tries to carry the bomb further, but then he's overtaken by an alien who, literally disintegrates him into small particles. A minute later, Alex finds himself tied to a table, and sitting across from him is a humanoid. Alex thinks he's died, but the alien denies it. The alien explains they're just curious about the human appearance and the way humans experience time. For aliens, linear time is just, well, incomprehensible and tedious, a labor-intensive cycle of empty beliefs. Humans are kind of like they're in a trap, forced to keep going through the same things. Aliens, on the other hand, exist outside of time and space. They're in every moment. So, for them, causal connections and the sequence of actions are a total mystery. The alien asks, what would happen if a human no longer had to wait for anything? Alex realizes that he would become similar to the appearance of the aliens, but the familiar personality, the ego, it dies in the moment. The alien is surprised, saying death is natural, but humans hide and distance themselves from it. Time determines everything for a human. It's both a giver and a thief. A human sees the world as he imagined it, and the alien wonders, what happens when the source of projection disappears? Even with endless self-analysis, a person won't understand the difference between reality and illusion. With each newly born, a new reality comes. So, your person always stands before a choice. Alex feels really awful. And then the alien offers him a chance to return to the moment before he got sick, but with the information he has now. Alex decides that he wouldn't have gone to work at the Institute and would have stopped all of this. The alien is surprised, asking why he would change his behavior if he can't actually change the situation. Then Alex admits that people don't really choose what will happen. The humanoid insists. Will his return to the past make a difference? Can anything actually change? And suddenly, Alex finds himself at home in front of his computer. He records this flash drive, realizing that nothing can be changed. The world might disappear tomorrow, but that's not news. Everything has already happened, everything ended before it began. He puts the flash drive in an envelope and falls to the floor. The last words on the flash drive are about Alex in the past, warning Beth, and he drives to her house while Alex from the future, in his last words, asks to just forget about everything and live on. Quite an interesting story, really, that makes you think, what if the concept of time doesn't actually exist and we live only here and now in one single moment? Who made us believe there's a past and a future? And is it true that people do foolish things, not thinking about how their thoughts and actions change their own future?